This week on Arcade Couch, I've been playing both Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment as well as Kirby Riders, and I'm going to tell you about both of those. There are never-ending rumors about Half-Life 3, but what's the truth to them? And we get stuck into the Xbox Partner Preview Showcase and talk about which games stand out the most. Hello and welcome to Arcade Couch, the best place to chill with friends to get your gaming goodness each and every Monday. My name's Dylan Blight. Joining me on the couch this week, Ashley Hobley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here to talk about categories.
Hell yeah, we love categories. Eggs, milk, shopping lists. Also here, Kieran Marchant.
Hello, the categories make sense. Not really, but they make sense.
Those categories make as much sense as sometimes the game of the year nominee categories make sense, and that was my terrible joke. Yeah. So before we get to all that, which we will get to a bit, let's run through something that happened this week. Did anyone watch the Xbox Partner Preview thing, or am I just going to read it for it? Cool. All right, that's what I thought. So Xbox had a Partner Preview. Yes, Xbox Partner Preview event this week where they showed off a bunch of trailers for stuff. It was actually pretty good, I think. It was, I would say, 80% like actual more, AA indie partnerships and stuff like that, which was pretty good to see. And then a couple like James Bondy sort of things and whatever else in here. So I didn't do an article, so I'm reading off Xbox this week because it's currently Black Friday fortnight because apparently it has to run for more than one day. So I've been fucking exhausted all week and haven't done shit. And it will be this week too. So firstly, they've got them in alphabetical order, which is again just this is the downside of me not having my own article. What order were they shown in? Doesn't matter. Let's just put it in alphabetical. Absolute nonsense system. Anyway, so 007 First Light. So they write James Bond, of course, is synonymous with the fast cars packed with wild gadgets, and 007 First Light plans to honor that legacy with the inclusion of what else but a slick Aston Martin. This trailer just showed off a car that's coming to the game. Cool. Armatus is a game. We got a first look at the worldwide premiere of Armatus, a third-person roguelike shooter from Counterplay Games. The trailer introduces a mysterious event known as the Vanishing, which has ended the world. Armatus sees you become a masked warrior summoned and magnificently armed to defeat the demonic horrors wandering the ruins of Paris. Your motivations are a mystery for now. This looked pretty cool. It was like a horror, maybe not horror, like a gothic sort of third-person shooter. Rogue. I don't know. It looked rogue-likey to me. I'm not sure. Honestly, it sort of looked Returnal-ish inspired to me a little bit, at least in some way. There's a lot of like projectile sort of stuff and a lot of enemies and stuff. It looks like you'll be upgrading stuff, but I'm intrigued to learn more. They then got Clover Pits come to Xbox today, so this game's been doing pretty well on Steam, I think. PC, it was already out on PC, but now it's on Xbox. Then they showed a trailer for Crossworn, which is a Metroidvania, I believe. This stylus action platformer blends tight traversal mechanics with fluid combat maneuvers, and we got to see a little more of its action during today's Crossworn gameplay trailer. The world of Ferrandi is under a terrible curse, and it's up to you to fight through hordes of monsters and unravel the mysteries of this forsaken land. Uncover secrets, upgrade your abilities, and enhance your loadouts as you progress through this gorgeous Metroidvania. Yeah, Metroidvania. It looks pretty cool. I like the art style. It's got like a, what do you call it? Like a plague doctor sort of dude. I don't know, at least that's what it looks like to me. Yeah, and art style looks cool and stuff, so. Dave the Diver plus In the Jungle DLC. Dave the Diver arrives on Xbox today, or a couple days ago, on Xbox Series XX and Xbox on PC. Players can dive into this deep-sea RPG and explore the blue hole by day and run a thriving sushi restaurant by night. Its whimsical setting combined with a deeply Moorish gameplay loop is an absolute must-play. We also go to look at In the Jungle, a new expansion that sees our titular marine hero Dave exploring solid ground, riding through jungle settlements, and doing battle against a fierce giant crocodile. Is it crazy that well, maybe it's not crazy really, but do you think it's wild that Dave the Diver continues to get DLC this far out from its release? I mean, it's not a bad thing. Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think we've seen a bunch of other places like continue to support games long after they've initially released. But it's just, I guess, surprising that it's constantly like kind of free DLC, I guess, rather than I mean,
some of them
nowadays
cost money,
it's just called like
couple.
content updates or
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, I mean, only have to look at Call of the Lamb that it's constantly updating that game. The team over on Mighty Monster, no,
Massive Monster.
Keeping that alive and like keeping interest in the game high.
The only thing with that is, and maybe same for this, they did a bunch of free updates, obviously, and I think that gets you a lot of
goodwill
with the fans of your game. And then hopefully that pays off because their upcoming DLC is a paid one. The Frozen whatever, the one that one that they were previewing at PAX this year. That is going to be paid. So hopefully it's like a payoff where it's like we do a bunch of free content updates and stuff like that as they've been working on the DLC and stuff, and then
you'll feel
people pay for the
because you're still interested in the game because you've been getting these constant
updates for free. Yeah. The trailer's cool. It starts with also if anyone hasn't watched it, it starts with them playing on the Xbox ROG in the Dave the Diver trailer. So pitching that it would be a good game to play on that device, which makes sense. There's a few wild entries in this showcase as we'll go through them. This was the first one that sort of surprised me in this list. But so Echo Generation 2 is a game. I played Echo Generation. I remember liking it. When I was watching the trailer, I was trying to work out if this is the same character. It's not the same characters because they were kids in the original, but same design and the voxel design and stuff. Anyway, developer Kokamga, what the fuck, has unveiled a sequel to voxel adventure Echo Generation. It looks interesting indeed. Echo Generation 2 is bringing back the first game's spooky supernatural setting, as well as its explosive turn-based combat against cosmic horrors and raging robots. We're also seeing welcome inspiration from many beloved 80s and 90s action movies, including a Gremlins-esque battle sidekick. Looks like great fun, and we're curious to see it more. So I'm keen to learn more about it because I did enjoy that game, but it's just one of those things where sometimes you get a sequel to the game that you're like, did people play that? But anyway, cool. Erosion. We showed, and by we, Xbox showed the world premiere of Erosion, an isometric action game set in a stylish Western-themed voxel world. The trailer showed us a super interesting mechanic. When you die, you respawn 10 years later. In the time that passes, the world around you has changed, and other characters have gotten older, creating an urgency to find what you're looking for. It's a curious concept, and we're looking forward to learning more. I'd agree with that. Watching the trailer, I was a bit like, I'm not really sure. Like, what can you die 5 times in this game? And your character's too old. Like, what's I'm trying to work out what the thing is. But the voxel design,
die like 10 times, then the worlds get hit by a comet. Yeah.
Well, I was about to say, was your save file get deleted? Like, what are we doing? I like the design, the voxel design, everything. Just seeing, the squares and like blocks breaking off when they're shooting people and stuff like that. And there's like a part in the trailer where it's like a combination of gun gameplay, and then he's like using a whip and stuff. But there's also it's not super realistic. Like there's a part where you see like a Dune-esque sandworm in the trailer in the middle of the desert. So I'm keen to learn more. I'm just a bit like confused. What if you die more than a couple of times and 10 years later? Like how many times can you come back 10 years later?
This is my great granddad.
Yeah.
Weapon shop.
It makes sense, I guess, if you start as a new character and you lose progression after a few saves or few deaths or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just the same as Sifu. It's like you do get game over. Like Sifu, if you die too many times, it's like you
get too old.
You're too old. You're dead. You can't respawn. Hitman World of Assassination got a new elusive target. This one is a wild entry in which it's Eminem hiring you to track down and kill Slim Shady, because apparently Slim Shady has escaped as his own alter ego real being. Pretty funny trailer.
Does he walk into a room and you have to shout, "Where's the real Slim Shady?"
Yeah, that would be good, actually.
Would they please stand up?
It's just the trailer's funny. He's like watching this. He does VO and he's like, I don't usually reach out for help, blah, blah, blah. Something. He's like, but this motherfucker keeps coming back. Like, something like, I don't know how they keep doing these Hitman. They do such weird crossovers. Like, not weird in a bad way. It's just they doing some wild
Just
shit.
unexpected. Yeah.
The Mound, Omen of Cthulhu. So it says a team of explorers ventures deep into an unwelcoming land in its upcoming co-op horror game. In the new gameplay trailer for the Mound Omen of Cthulhu, the expedition arrives on a mysterious coastline shrouded by dangerous jungles and supernatural forces beyond comprehension. Inspired by the inexplicable unrealities of H.P. Lovecraft's original stories, the Mound challenges players to work together in navigating shifting perspectives of reality to survive the horrors and uncover the treasures that lie within. I hadn't actually... Well, maybe I hadn't. I just forgot it. But I can't remember seeing this game before. But it looked kind of cool. Like it's just kind of cool. It just looked like a bunch of people running around shooting things, to be honest. But with Cthulhu inspired design and stuff like that. But it is co-op. So, and again, you don't get too many co-op games, so stand out when you get them. All right. Raji Kali Yuga. Sorry. Yes, that's what it's called. No, Kali Yuga. Anyway, Raji Kali Yuga is a sequel to a game. Again, this showcase has several sequels to things that I'm like, okay, it's good they're getting made. I'm glad but it's still surprising. So they wrote, we're thrilled to reveal a brand new sequel to Raji, an Ancient Epic, the multi-award-winning indie action-adventure title set in an ancient India. Set 6 years after the original game, Raji Kali Yuga expands on the conflict, portraying not just the war among mortals, but the cosmic struggle involving gods, asuras, and mystical forces. You play as Raji and her younger brother Dash as a dual protagonist that you'll control during different parts of the story. This sequel also makes bold new strides into a new genre, pivoting from the first game's isometric interpretation of ancient India into a full third-person action adventure, and we can't wait for you to see more. I didn't play the first game, but I remember it got at least decent reviews. So came out, 3-4 years ago, I feel, something like that. So Reanimal got a new trailer. Not much to the trailer, but it does. They did finally give a rough launch, which is it's coming out in February. I'm excited for this one. I think it looks really fucking creepy, and I'm keen. This is the next game from the actual little what are they called? Little Nightmares. So this is the next game from the actual Little Nightmares developers, whereas Little Nightmares 3 was done by different studios. Yeah. So, but this one looks creepy as fuck every time there's a new shot. This trailer just seemed to be a lot of stuff I'd seen before, and it was short. So, roadside research. If you've ever wanted to be an alien working undercover at a rural gas station, well, that's incredibly specific, and we've got the game for you. Roadside Research is a comedic co-op simulator where you'll do just that. With the aim of gathering intelligence on humans, day to day you'll be responsible for running the shop, stocking the shelves, and appearing normal while secretly conducting research on your customers. However, if you arouse too much suspicion, the government will show up, jeopardizing your earthly mission. This looked pretty funny. It's also that, like, just there's something funny to me about the fact that aliens aren't really hiding too well. They're just got basically a cardboard cutout face on top of them with a smiley face drawn. Yeah. Also, there's a pug in it for some reason that they have as a pet. So points, So that almost it's sort of like they took the popularity of all the what is the genre where people just decided we're going to make a bunch of video games about real life jobs that no one really wants to work, but when they're turned into video games, people will want to play them? Like
job
simulator games.
Started with Job Simulator.
Yeah.
Well, probably more with the farming sim.
Sim stuff, yeah.
The farming sim and then the truck driving games.
Mm.
Those were like incredibly niche and then have spawned.
Yeah. Now it's like lawn mowing game and power wash simulator and
laundry simulator.
card shop, laundry. Yeah. All these games that people are like, oh man, it's so good. But it's like, would you actually want to do that in real life? Fuck no. I'll spend 6 hours in front of my PC doing it though. Like, this game to me is like, it's the same thing technically. It's a gas simulator game, but you're playing as an alien. So Tides of Annihilation. The Tides of Annihilation. Next up, we saw some incredibly cool gameplay from Tides of Annihilation, an upcoming fantasy action adventure title inspired by Arthurian legend. The trailer shows off an entire boss battle from start to finish, with protagonist Gwendolyn battling a giant winged entity, using abilities that allow her to shift through different realities to gain an edge in the fight. It's a mesmerizing scene, complete with cinematic moments to add more free flair to the frenetic combat. It looked fine to me. It looks like a third-person action adventure game, personally, but like it didn't look bad. It's just I was like, I need more to get excited about that these days. Total Chaos. From the creator of Turbo Overkill comes Total Chaos, a first-person survival horror bringing with mysteries to solve and monsters to kill, avoid, scream at. In this eerie, atmospheric world, you'll scavenge materials to craft makeshift weapons and battle against horrific creatures as you unfurl a nightmare narrative. The gameplay trailer alone looks tense and truly unnerving, but fortunately you don't need to wait to experience it because it's out now. This looked cool. I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to play it, but there's a part very early in the trailer where they're like walking through somewhere and there's like a really tall fucking monster dude in the corner. I don't know. It looked cool to me. I haven't looked up to see if there's reviews yet. Maybe it's bad, maybe it's good. Who knows? But it looked cool. Then we got Vampire Crawlers. Poncool, the creator of Vampire Survivors, is back with a brand new game announcement in Vampire Crawlers, a first-person deck-building roguelike dungeon crawler brimming with the developer's trademark chaotic approach. Many of your favorite familiar upgrades are featured: the Bible, the whip, and of course the garlic. It's a fresh, interesting twist on Vampire Survivors look and feel, with the same compelling one more go appeal we know and love. The trailer's very funny because it's literally them just being like, how much can we milk this? And I look forward to spending many hours playing it. Is how I'll say that. And then the last game, in the most shocking thing from the entire show, was they announced a prequel to Fist Forged in Shadow Torch, which is a deep cut platinum explosion GOT.
Because it looks like him in a, but it's actually a prequel.
Yep. Yep. So they're at take control of a ragtag group of skyfaring traditional weapon wielding I'm struggling with words. Anthropomorphic animals in Zoo Punk, a new action game from Thai Games, as part of the universe introduced by the acclaimed Fist Forged in Shadow Torch. This new trailer sees one character on the hunt for an animatic object called Spark before being captured by a rival group looking to take it for themselves. We also get a look at the fast-paced third-person combat, which sees characters pulling off different acrobatic moves and explosive abilities in battle. So yeah, it's set before Fist. The game, instead of being a Metroidvania, is also now a third-person action game. People in the YouTube comments have basically jumped onto memes about calling it like Rabbit May Cry and different different things like that. It had an interesting sort of news cycle when it was revealed, because several outlets, there was a lot of like after it dropped, a lot of news stories started popping up with people posting similar headlines saying stuff like, the game looked very cool, but like it looks like it was possibly made with AI. I do think we start like the AI thing, and the concern with AI does mean that anything something looks good, everyone just jumps on the like it must be AI, and it's like it's so hard. Like, what do you do? Like, what do you just assume anything's AI? Anyway, then they pointed out that Thai Games was at an NVIDIA press conference like a couple months ago talking about using AI tech and stuff like that. So then the whole news cycle about this game then got turned into talking to that. And then eventually someone from Thai Games came out and said that everything is made by artists in the game, apart from AI will be used to make user-generated content. So apparently you'll be able to like, I don't know, put into a prompt or some shit, I guess, to create different visuals for your bike and shit in the game or something. And that's going to be AI, which whatever, in the scheme of things, I can't battle. Like, again, I'll say it a million times, like AI's here. You can't, like, you can, I just don't think you can, Yeah,
as long as
like,
they
what are we
train
gonna-
the AI itself, that
Well, yeah,
I think
exactly.
it's-
So yeah, but they said all the characters, the art, everything in the game, they said it's not AI. So anyway, it was a whole
if you
like
type
weird.
in make my bike look like Mickey Mouse, and then it makes it look
turns
like
into
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. Then
Then
that's a
I'm going to
problem.
be pretty upset.
Yeah. It was
Make it
just like
red.
it was a weird 24, 48 hour news cycle where instead of people talking about how the game looked cool, it was like, I think it looks too cool. So now, like, Anyway, I'm pretty keen because obviously I was a big fan of Fist, and obviously Ash had to hear me talk about that game for a very long time.
I mean, the number of years it was Game of the Year is crazy.
Yeah, it was a real like Game of the Year from the second it was announced. It's a cool world though for people who don't know it. I guess it's like, but this is set before. I was trying to work out the storyline because basically in Fist, it's like the main character you're playing as in this as sort of retired and stuff because it's like all these machines. I think they come from like outer space somewhere. They come from another planet and they like come down and they basically take over and like enslave a bunch of people and stuff like that. So then it's like you're part of a rebellion to take back the planet in that game, more or less. Like all the anamorphic animals. This is set before that happens, I think, or is like in the middle of it happening or something like that. I don't know. But it's got some of the same characters you can see in it, but it also doesn't have the giant the character's name's Ralton, right? It's R. Ralton or something like that. Anyway, the rabbit doesn't have the fist stuff that he has, but yeah, I'm pretty keen. So it's cool. Nothing like a game that I got super hyped on for years and expecting to never ever get a sequel or anything to it. Getting more.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's also a throwback, and then that the name is completely unrelated to the other game.
Yep.
Remember when they used to do that?
Yeah, I think it's smart too because if they'd included the title, it's that whole like it's a turn-off thing, right? People go, "Oh, I didn't play that," so. But there's also no part in the trailer that makes it seem like this is connected to anything because they want people just to play it based on its own merits, I assume. So anyway, that's everything from the showcase. I know you said you didn't watch it, but just reading through it then, would you agree? It's a bit of a, what do you reckon? I thought it was a decent mix of things. Yeah.
It's a decent mix of things. I think it's very interesting with they show a lot of the times with these kind of like kind of these pop up out of almost nowhere. There's not much hype to them. There's not like a big lead up to them. They just kind of happen, and I think they're happening pretty regularly. Like it seems to be an interesting kind of balance that they are forming with these showcases.
Yeah, they announce them like on a Monday and then they show them on a Thursday, sort of thing. Rather than like announcing them
a week out,
months out,
yeah.
Which I don't mind. So, all right, Game Award nominations. I'm gonna read backwards through this list from press start, just so we can get to the Game of the Year nominees at the top. Stop me on anything you want to talk about more. I'm going to skip the esports ones, to be completely honest. And do we care about content creator year? The only person left comments, I assume, is you, Kieran? Or?
No, it doesn't really. I don't even think.
Well, I mean, the other thing I would say is it's surprising that Kai Cenat and Moist Critical had not been nominated prior.
Yeah.
Which seems to be a thing. It's like he wants to make sure that it's a new batch of people every year.
I think it's. Yeah, this is Kai Cenat will win that, I assume. All right, so let's just start here. So most anticipated game, which is a dumb award, but I'll read it anyway. 007 First Light, Grand Theft Auto 6, fuck, I'm jumping ahead. Marvel's Wolverine, Resident Evil Requiem, and The Witcher 4. I assume
this is the real reason that they delayed it. They wanted to win it again.
They're like, we'll win one award for most anticipated, and we'll be the first game to win most anticipated, and then Game of the Year straight after. We'll own that category.
Well, they won't, because they won't get nominated next year because of...
Oh, yeah, true. The year after. Fuck, yeah. Best Adaptation. So you got a Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, the Netflix series, Last of Us Season 2, Splinter Cell Deathwatch, the Netflix series, and Until Dawn, the movie.
I as I'm sure people have seen pointed out, they fucked up because they didn't include Sonic 3.
Sonic. Yep.
Which also Twisted Metal Season 2, arguably. I haven't finished watching it, but it's quite good.
Yeah, me neither.
And
but
I
actually,
assume it was better than Until Dawn.
I would assume that Twisted Metal Season 2 and I've seen Sonic, so I know I would agree both of those are better than most of this. So interesting.
I'm going to go the Early Crow. Minecraft maybe is going to win that.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Chicken jockey. You know, someone's interviewing Jack Black the other day, and they asked him. It was the dumbest question I've ever had in my life. It's like, oh man, like, did you feel like when you were filming that scene that it would become such a cultural moment when you were filming the chicken jockey scene? And he's like, no, I didn't know. It's like, shut the fuck up. Best multiplayer game: Ark Riders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring, Night Rain, Peak, Split Fiction. Ark Riders is an interesting one because obviously everyone I don't say everyone. There's two sides. There are people, everyone playing it loves it, and then there's a bunch of people who hate it because of all the AI shit. So it's on two sides of the spectrum. But I mean, that's a recency bias.
I think it's very curious about the hate for the AI stuff because I think they've actually implemented the AI stuff really well.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you saw it. I saw the biggest shutdown. Who's I can't remember her name. She was at PAX, I think. One of the voice actors from Baldur's Gate.
She was the narrator. I can't remember her name.
The narrator. She did an interview with these people on this podcast who they were trying to defend the game. Or was like, we've been really looking forward to playing this game, blah, blah, blah. And they ask her something like, do you feel like there's any way you could ever look past it if the game's really good? And she pretty much just goes, no, they're stealing my jobs. Fuck that game.
Well, the thing is, because have they used AI? This is where maybe my understanding of Ark Raiders is the AI is used for the enemies and for the building of enemies. Have they used AI voice acting as well?
I believe. I don't want to say I'm 100% because I haven't done super research. From my brief understanding, I believe it's all of it.
Because I think what they've used AI for in terms of the enemy and the enemy AI is actually really fascinating. But yeah, if they've used it for voice acting, then okay, that's great.
Says, I can't find it quick. It says the game uses AI generated text-to-speech voices trained on real actors. This has led to the debate and backlash within the industry of some arguing its production solution, while others say it undermines the role of human voice actors. Blah 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 blah. Yep.
Okay. So, yep. Fair enough.
Pretty much every voice actor hates that game. I've not seen a single voice actor not do a video, tweet, or something that says Ark Riders is shit, which is pretty. And more power to them. Like that's their job, right? So, who do you reckon wins that though? I actually assume it's Elden Ring. To be honest with it.
I mean, probably, but Peak would be the winner.
And I'm going to say, if Ark Raiders wins, it's just recency bias or something. But best sports racing: EA Sports FC 26, F1 25, Mario Kart World Rematch, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I will say that is one of the best sports/racing nominee lists we have had in quite a long time. Usually, it is an absolute trash category, but that's a decent mix of stuff, I think. Yeah, I still want to play Sonic Racing. I want to get that. Apparently it's really good. They keep adding the randomest crossover DLC with it, stuff best sim strategy: The Alters, Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles, Jurassic World Evolution 3, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Tempest Rising, 2 Point Museum. I don't know about that one. Civ? I don't know. Best family game: Donkey Kong Bonanza, Lego Party, Lego Voyages, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, Split Fiction. Best fighting game: 2XKO. I went backwards. Capcom Fighting Collection 2, Fatal Fury Cities of Wolves, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, Virtual Fighter 5, Revo World Stage. Best RPG: Avowed, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, The Outer Worlds 2, Monster Hunter Wilds. I think that's Kingdom Come Deliverance by Mar, but we shall see. Best action adventure game: Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yotai, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Hollow Knight Silksong, Split Fiction. Best action game: Battlefield 6, Doom: The Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, Shinobi: Art of Vengeance. I gotta be honest, it wasn't until these nominees came out the other day that I was like, holy shit, that Doom game came out at the start of this year. I forgot about that.
That's
Like,
pretty good.
Yeah. Best VR/AR: Alien: Rogue Incursion, Arkham Age, Ghost Town, Marvel's Deadpool VR, The Midnight Walk. Best mobile game: Destiny Rising, Persona 5, The Phantom X, Sonic Rumble,
The horse game.
Masami,
The horse
Pretty
girl
Derby.
game.
Wuthering Waves, Best Debut Indie, Blueprints, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, Despelot, Dispatch, Megabonk. Do you think they're all actually indie games this year?
Well, Megabonk has already been approved has already been withdrawn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Megabonk was withdrawn after it was a previous creator that's just creating under a different alias now.
Oh,
yeah,
the drama.
And then, there's a big debate about Claire Obscura being an independent game.
Look, man, they made that game in a church. Or
it was just 20
was,
French people working in one room building this game, who then hired hundreds and hundreds of other people to do other work.
Yeah.
I don't think people too much care about whether you hired more people. It's just the amount of money that they managed to get to build that game.
That's honestly
is considered indie.
Yeah, honestly, what I believe they should do is they should just put if this game cost over X, not an indie. Just set a
There's a lot of things you need to do at the Game Awards. But criteria. Yeah. They need proper criteria.
Yeah, proper criteria. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think this is the award show that's going to define.
Absolutely not.
Very well.
But it is currently the.
It just constantly leads to the same discussions every single year.
It does, yeah. Best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14.
You skipped over Best Independent.
Fucking hell. Best Independent: Absalom, Ballcross Pit, Blueprints, Claire Obscura, Expedition 33, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong. Yeah, that Kenny Sun game, that was made by one guy because I watched the. It actually wasn't. But. Best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14. You can play up to level 60 for free. Ahead. Fortnite.
Actually, it's way higher than that. I think it's like 80 or 90 now.
Holy shit. No Man's Sky. Best ongoing game: Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, No Man's Sky. Innovation Access. Sorry, I missed one again. Games for Impact: Consume Me, Display Up, Lost Records, Bloom Range, South of Midnight, Wanderstop. Innovation and Accessibility: Assassin's Creed Shadows, Atomfall, Doom: The Dark Ages, EA Sports, FC26, South of Midnight. Best Performance: Ben Starr in Claire Obscura, Expedition 33. Charlie Cox in Claire Obscura, Expedition 33. Erika Ishii in Ghost of Yotei. Jennifer English in Claire Obscura, Expedition 33. Konatsu Kaito in Silent Hill F. And Troy Baker in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. What do you feel about this one? This is a big one, I guess. Is it? Just say this. Is it Claire Obscura or one of the other games?
Well, I think I could see Troy Baker taking this, even though it was so far.
But the thing is, as someone who loved that game, he's really, really good. But at the end of the day, he's just doing his version of someone else's performance. Like there is a level of it's mimicking, right? It's like he doesn't create the character; he's just performing the character. I don't know. I know what I'm trying to say, but.
I don't know if Daniel Craig was awarded an award for his role as James Bond in one of the films, would you have taken that away from him because it was just mimicry of all the performance?
But it wasn't. It was his own. It's his James Bond. Like he wasn't mimicking another James Bond. But Troy Baker is just trying to pretend to be Harrison Ford. At the end of the day, and he does a really good job at it.
If Troy Baker was in a biopic about Harrison Ford and playing Harrison Ford, would you take an award away from him because it was too much like Harrison Ford? or any biopic really, because they're just mimicking the character.
Yeah, I guess. It's a point.
Mm-hmm.
Point. So you're
So
saying
I think one of the Claire Obscurus people's
okay, right? Okay,
Yeah.
just fucking.
The thing that
right.
annoys, maybe annoys me is probably the wrong word, but like the frustrating thing, like Charlie Cox being nominated is frustrating, considering
He forgot he was even in that game. I think
he
so.
forgot he's in it. He had such a small, like I think he was only recorded for like a handful of hours. Like
I think the thing is, at this stage, are we past spoilers where we can just say his character dies like very early in that game?
Okay, we
like,
are now. Yeah.
Let's just say it. Like the whole thing is, yes, he's very good in it. However, his character dies early in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Starr, however, who then becomes the main character.
It's frustrating because it's like, okay, if you want to not, this is what my frustration, and I was going to say at the end, if you wanted a somewhat famous person to be nominated, even if you're not going to give them the award, why the fuck isn't Aaron Paul just nominated for Dispatch? You know, like
I mean,
the whole Dispatch situation is so frustrating.
Did Dispatch come out? Dispatch came out too late, I think. That's why they didn't get nominated for anything.
No, it did.
Yeah.
Got nominated for Best
Indie.
Indie.
Got nominated for Best First Indie.
Best Indie
But-
first debut.
Okay.
But this is the thing. Next year, Dispatch can't be in next year's.
No, I'm sure it will be.
No, because the
It could
rules.
be.
Jeff breaks the rule. Jeff breaks the rules.
Jeff breaks the rules all the time.
But like, if he was going to break the
No.
rules, like
The actual, I don't know if you listened to Alana's talk, but she pretty much said, whatever. It's just whatever the jury decides is appropriate. There's no double checking.
it just.
So if somebody
feels-
had have nominated FIFA 2002 in the sports category, enough people, that would have been up for the award this year.
Yeah.
That's how little Jeff
rules
is
and
like checking over
regulations
stuff.
and- yeah.
That's how we lead to first people having to withdraw their nomination because they're not actually a first
Would
time
you
dev,
would you put Aaron Paul over Charlie Cox?
in a heartbeat?
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
Not to spoil Explosion Network awards for this year, but
I think there has to be something also said for. I think only like out of all those ones nominated there, and I might be wrong because I'm not. I think Silent Hill F did some, and so did Claire Obscura to a degree. But the most intense, like full performance of those is Erika Ishii's. As far as like a shit ton of mocap, shit ton of like as far as like it's a full on like big ass performance, right? I don't know how much that weight that carries for people voting, but
I don't. I think they just think what's the end product,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I will shout out. I've heard a lot of people talk about the performance from the Alters. The same guy plays like 11 roles in that game.
Yeah,
So-
that game everyone loved for a week, and then the stuff about the AI came out, and then everyone stopped talking about it. I can't remember what the AI stuff was though. Some art generate. It's hard to keep up, man. Best audio design: Battlefield 6, Claire Obscura, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Ghost of Yotai, Silent Hill F. Best score on music: Christopher Larkin, Hollow Knight Silksong, Darren Korb, Hades 2, Lauren Astard, Claire Obscura, Expedition 33, Tawama Ottawa, Ghost of Yotai, Woo Kid, and Ludwig Fossil for Death Stranding 2 On the Beach. Best art direction: Claire Obscura 33, Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, Ghost of Yotai, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong. Best narrative: Claire Obscura, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, Ghost of Yotai, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Silent Hill If. Best game direction: Claire Obscura, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, Ghost of Yotai, Hades 2, Split Fiction. And Game of the Year nominees are Claire Obscura, Expedition 33, which now holds a record for the most nominated game at the Game Awards, Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Kieran, any other thoughts on this year's list?
No, I think I'm happy that Kingdom Come made it. Like, I think it could be very easy for that game to have been forgotten about somewhat because of it coming out at the start of the year, and it could have kind of got struck down a little bit by recency bias. But other than that, I think the list is pretty fantastic overall.
Ash?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fine list. It probably, represents a wide spectrum of the audience of different variety of games, So,
I mean, yeah, Cloud Square Station 33, Just Stranger on the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight, Silksong, King Kong Deliverance. Like, sounds like a good year. Also, I don't think it's a shoe-in for anything in particular, which is always good.
I mean, everybody's saying Claire Obscura, but it might just be because it's been nominated.
I think Claire Obscura is set up for the most success this year. I think across the awards.
Get nominated the most, you got to win something, right? Well, it'll be really fucking awkward if they're like the most nominated game at the Game Awards and the one that won the least percentage of nominations because you took home nothing.
So The Irishman.
Yes. Correct. Yes. Yeah, well, all right. Well, we shall see in a couple weeks when the Game Awards. When's it? Hold on. I have the times.
It's like the
it's at like 3 o'clock in the hours. Oh, here we go.
It's like the 12th, right?
It is the 12th. Yeah, Friday the 12th. It is on at 11:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Yep. All right. Final story I wanted, news story I want to read for you. Then I've got a couple of games to talk about. But I just found one to read for here. But let's talk about this Half-Life shit because it is just 1,000,001 articles every day, nearly, I feel about this. So the gamer writes, "Don't give up hope yet. Insiders claim that Half-Life 3 will still be announced this year." At the end of October, Valve reporter Tyler McVicker claimed that Half-Life 3 trailer was rumored to be released in November. Shortly after, others came forward and seemingly corroborated these rumors, claiming that a major announcement was imminent. Most of these, however, were not hinting at Half-Life 3, but instead the Steam machine, frame, and a controller, a trifecta of new Valve hardware. Still, within the hubbub of the cuboid PC console, many insiders said they also heard rumors of Half-Life 3 announcement on the horizon for 2025, sparking what has been the most fervent week in the community since 2019. And yes, I will agree. I've seen so many. I don't know if it's just where some sites and stuff I'm following us up. I've seen so many fucking articles the last 2 weeks pretty much all about Half-Life 3. It's insane. Fans latched on to these reports and cooked up all sorts of theories speculating that HLX would be announced on November 18th, the anniversary of Alex's reveal. Half-Life Alyx, of course, the VR game, and the start of an unusually arid period of Steam store. The day came and went, and new theories cropped up. It would be announced on the anniversary of the first Half-Life, a game that day came and went. 22 days in November, flying past every single theory, and the community's faith in these rumors is beginning to wane. However, we still have 5 weeks left of the year, and according to Insider Gaming senior editor Mike Straw, a trailer is still coming. I have a date, quote, I've been told, but I don't have I haven't been able to verify it with multiple sources, and there is a history of Valve doing these things called canary traps. They give different people different dates to try and guess who's talking, Straw said on the Insider Game podcast. Continuing, I've seen it happen before. They did this with Half-Life Alyx. A bunch of people reported different dates because Valve was feeding the dates differently. I won't report the date until I get physical confirmation that it's the actual date and not a canary trap. End quote. One of the leading theories as we barrel through November is that Valve will unveil Half-Life 3 in a show-stopping reveal at the Game Awards next month, following what will appear to be a cryptic tease from Jeff Keighley. However, as Straw noted, this is what Keighley does. Quote, there's a trend in games and he posts some random teaser about whatever's trending to build up hype for his own thing, end quote. Several leakers, insiders, and reporters have stressed that Half-Life 3 at the Game Awards is incredibly unlikely. Valve, like Rockstar, likes to do its own thing. Quote, I'd be very surprising unless Keighley's got reach to deal with Valve in the past week to have Half-Life 3 revealed at the Game Awards. If it's going to be at the Game Awards, what I could see it doing is Valve announcing it before and then saying, hey, we'll show more at the Game Awards. I don't see it being announced there. end quote. Various leakers from a wide variety of beats covering PlayStation, the broader game industry, and specializing in Valve are steadfast that Half-Life 3's announcement is still on track for 2025. It looks like we're in the home stretch, so don't give up hope yet. Kieran, any truth amongst...
I don't know. This thing is, this could be like we heard the same things before Half-Life Alyx was announced. Like it is,
we did. Now, the only thing I'll say for that is everyone assumed it was going to be Half-Life 3, and then a bunch of people assumed it was nothing, and it was all a bunch of lies. At least it turned out to be something. It was still eventually revealed as there was a game. There was something at the end of all the. There was something at the end of all the hubbub, So, this is a case where at the first few days of all these stories taking off, I was very much ignoring them, going, "Who cares? Who cares? Who cares?" After 2 weeks of it, I'm like, "There's too much smoke here to not lead to something." Yeah. When the console stuff was announced, I was like, "Okay, maybe that's it. That's the end of it." And then everyone still continued. All these people are like, "No, that's not. That's it. That's not it. That's its own thing." I'm still hearing stuff, and it's continued. I'm just like, "What do we like?" If Half-Life 3 got a reveal, that was. I feel like that's just the. There's nothing more after that, what is the other video game that people are gonna I don't know. I don't think there's any other game after that people crying for years and lives waiting for,
I don't know. GTA is still a thing.
Yeah. Imagine if next year Half-Life 3 and GTA 6 were released in the same year. What?
No. Half-Life 3 is announced. It's still not coming out next year.
What do you reckon, Ash? Any truth to any of this? Or?
I mean, I think there's just too much smoke, unless someone at Valve was just fucking with a bunch of leakers to mess around, just putting out breadcrumbs to troll a bunch of people, or to hype up Jeff. It's Jeff secretly trying to hype up his show to get it increase interest. Even if it's going to be rage bait, that would be the only other option. I think there's definitely some sort of announcement. Maybe it won't be Half-Life 3. It'll be Half-Life
Alyx 2.
Half-Life Remastered Collection, Who knows?
I don't know. It's also that thing I do wonder, it's been so long that you can't if Half-Life 3 exists, it can't just be another first person shooter because it wouldn't be enough to satiate people's tastes, when Half-Life is well beloved because it was 2 games which were part of the first person shooter narrative focus, sort of pushing the genre forward. So you can't just put out the third without doing something new and exciting, I feel. I think that's always what Gabe was saying, and that's why they ended up experimenting with VR more, because it was more exciting tech and stuff for them, they were saying. So yeah, I don't know. We shall see though. I've played 2 Nintendo games the last couple of weeks. Didn't get to talk about this last week because I wasn't here, obviously. So I haven't finished either yet. So I've been playing Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment, and then I started playing Kirby Air Riders this week because that released this week. So start on Hyrule Warriors because this is a really interesting one to me in a world where I didn't play the first Hyrule Warriors game. I'm also not a Dynasty Warriors guy, and I've never really understood the fascination with the, what do you call it, the Mushu genre, Mushu, whatever it is. But I'm really, really loving Age of Imprisonment to the degree I probably could have finished the game by now, but I do get completely sidetracked doing side story stuff because I'm enjoying the game. So I will say this, and we sort of knew this coming into it because all the trailers sort of point this out, and then they've talked about it a bit and everything. But I was still shocked with just how story focused this game is, and how much it very much feels like the weirdly ending, cap off to the Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom era of Zelda before they move on and do presumably something different with the next Zelda game. Because so for people who don't know the story for this game, it takes place pretty much or at the start of Tears of the Kingdom, Link and Zelda are exploring the undergrounds, and then they fall into a chasm, and then Zelda gets separated, and she like wakes up. I don't know, like, I can't remember how many years, 100 years in the past or whatever. And this game all takes place where you're seeing her story during the time she was trapped in the past. So you see some of the same cutscenes that and elements and characters that you see in Tears of the Kingdom, but you see it all play out across this war, the Age of Imprisonment, or the Imprisoning War is what they call it. Sorry. So it's like when the game starts, the first like 4, 5, 6 hours, whatever it is, a little bit of tutorial stuff. You're learning how to play as all these different characters. You go on these little missions, but it's like you will do I think my only downside to the game is that the maps, levels, they do become a bit somewhat repetitive, especially once you're like, I think I'm like 20 hours in or whatever. Like it's literally just walk in and it's like you walk into an area and there's 500 enemies to kill because that's the genre and stuff like that. And it's still the only reason it continues to be fun is because all the characters, of which there is many, by the further you get into the game, the more characters you keep adding to your party. It just seems to be never-ending amount of characters because you suddenly it's like you get all the Hyrule characters at the start, and then you've got the I can't remember all the fuck people, the rock people. What the fuck are they called? The Gorons. Then the water people. Anyway, all the different people, and like different like princes and princesses and captains and knights from their groups and stuff and crazy stuff. But yeah, it's like every couple story missions you do, basically you'll get a cutscene, and some of the cutscenes like are lasting for like 10 minutes. So it's very not light on story. There's a lot happening. The game starts. It's like, oh, you meet the king and queen of Hyrule, and you go back to the original. You go back to the original kingdom, and you meet some characters there. And Zelda's like, hey, I'm from the future. Do you want me to tell you some stuff? And they're all like, no, you can't do that because, as I've learned from every movie I've ever watched, you can't say, so leave it all alone. And then, characters start talking about and introducing, oh, we're all working with these different types of people. Anyway, there's a guy out there called Ganondorf. He's all right, though, I think. And then he comes into the kingdom and he's like, I want to pledge my allegiance to you, King whatever the fuck your name is, to Hyrule and stuff. And Zelda's like, I don't know about that dude, maybe rethink him. And he's like, no, it'll be fine, I'm sure this Ganondorf dude will be okay. And then anyway, spoilers, Ganondorf is a little fucking evil motherfucker, and he takes over the kingdom. And then pretty much after you get past that part, and this takes like 5-6 hours, so it's like super rushed. And then it's like Zelda, King, Queen, and some of the other people, you're like all sort of pushed out to this you like have an overworld map, and you'll see like the sections that are like claimed. So you start with like nothing, and then everything else is owned by Ganon at this point. And then you like do missions, and you slowly like start reclaiming back territory across Hyrule, and fighting back monsters. And along the way, as you reclaim territory and stuff, you get into different people's kingdoms and stuff, and you start helping them reclaim their territory, and then they join your crew and blah blah blah. Obviously, long-term fighting to get back to the castle to eventually, not that it's the spoiler because you know what happens is that the game is gonna end, I presume, with the king, whatever his name, the king of Hyrule dude. He like imprisons Ganondorf for like in this time spell thing, which is what Link sees at the start of Tears of the Kingdom, I think. Yes. Anyway, I'm really enjoying it. So I'm just I would say if you're like the genre sort of turned you off, but you love the story from Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom games, and you want more of those characters and more of that story, this is it. This game is literally just the cap off to that before I think they move on to something else. So it's really good, and it plays really well on Switch too. That type of thing. Of course, if this game was on Switch 1, I'm sure all the combat would run like absolute ass, but luckily we're on Switch 2, so the combat feels good. And you do all these like team up moves and shit, like as you build combo meters with, if you're fighting around characters, you can trigger these anime as fuck moves. And every character has a different unique move with other characters that are fighting on the battlefield at the same time. And it's weirdly Maybe I get it now. I'm like, I get what the Dynasty Warriors people are like. Yeah, it's just you fucking sometimes just waving a giant sword across a battlefield and doing like the right combo move and having like 500 enemies flip up into the sky as they all take damage at the same time from your move is kind of feels good sort of thing. So, all right, and then Kirby Air Riders, another game in which I knew nothing about its lineage or genre, of which its genre is the GameCube game, I think was the first one, which I never played. So the other thing, I did not play. They put out several tests, when they do online tests or whatever. I didn't bother checking out any of those. So I very much the first time I booted this up, and I didn't play this at PAX because the line was always redonkulous. So I very much came into this not knowing a lot, to be honest. And I was shocked with sort of finding out and then going back and looking up the first game as to, oh, no, that's sort of the pitch for this game, is that it may look like it's Mario Kart but Kirby or something along those lines and stuff, but it's nothing like it at all because the game is autopilot and you basically just play it with one button and that's the pitch. So all the characters move. You don't have to hold a button to accelerate or anything. Like as soon as the race starts, the character's just off. You don't accelerate, you don't brake or anything. Characters just go. All you control is you're moving the analog stick to move them, and you have one button, which is B, which does everything else in the game. So B will be drifting around a corner to and release at the right time to trigger like a boost. B is hold it down to suck up enemy creatures that you can then copy their abilities, and then this whole thing. But it does cause a nearly brain confusing level of just why aren't we on more buttons? Like, why is the suck button the same as the drift button? And I think it's just like I don't know if it's a detriment because it does mean that you're always doing something on screen and it just at times can be hectic and confusing as fuck. The only other thing you're doing as well actually is you can and again, this could have been a different button, but they're like refuse to move you off two buttons. You can do a spin attack to hit your opponents or even the NPC enemies instead of sucking them up to help build up your special meter by quickly wiggling left right on the analog stick. So one more button. Sorry, there is one more button. When you build up your special meter, and every character in the game, of which I think they said there's 21 characters to unlock or something, each of the characters has its own unique special move, which you trigger by pressing Y once you've built up special move. So the game runs off 3 buttons. And if I'm counting the analog stick as a button, but otherwise it is just move, B, and Y. Maybe once a match, once a race. And it is absolute hecticness. There are times, some of the tracks racing through where I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like it is almost like I should be on acid while playing this game, to be completely honest. Like the amount of shit, like I'm drifting through a level and then there's just shit exploding everywhere. There's a dragon in the background. I'm like, good Lord, what is going on? It's a lot. But I think I kind of like it. It was confusing the first few times I played it. I was like, oh, okay, so you just do this. But I kept going. I played it for a few hours today. So then the other thing, so that's the normal mode, I guess, is like that. You also have a isometric micro machines type mode in the game. So the same system, it's still just 3 buttons, but it is top down races, and every track that's in the game has its own isometric version of that you can play through as well, and you can play either version online with people as well, and they both play well and they're kind of fun. And then there is a story mode which I haven't really checked out yet, so I'm not sure how the story is, but I assume the story is just whatever because it's a racing game. And then the third mode is, I can't remember the name of it, but you pretty much get dropped into an open level design sort of thing, and for a period of time, I can't remember exactly how long it lasts, you drive around attempting to pick up icons spread across the map that will boost so you pick up stuff that increases your vehicle's acceleration, top speed, drift, whatever, all this stuff, and you can attempt to crash and break your opponents and to make them lose that, and then after a while you trigger either a race or a mini game or something like that, and if you get to keep all the stuff you've picked up while you've been doing it. That tactic is fuck as well, because you're just absolutely just running around looking at 1,000,001 icons on the map. This game is this for a while, especially when I announced it, not knowing anything about it, the original GameCube one. I know we all said it on here, like, oh, what's this? Like, is this it's Mario Kart, but Kirby. Like, what's the go? This game ain't nothing like Mario Kart. It's very much its own thing. So I think that is good. However, I would say that there is a commitment to the bit of it's 2-button game. That's maybe to its own detriment, but I'm enjoying it. So yeah. Any
Which one do
questions
you
about
prefer?
anything? Out of what? The
Mario
2
Kart
games?
World or this?
Oh, yeah, definitely Mario Kart. Because that's a proper, like, it's, well,
You like to push buttons.
you feel more control. I feel more control, which is weird because I'm still steering and everything in this, but it does feel like there is less control.
Yeah.
Every now and then I'll accidentally, I think, like push forward on the stick, like my brain's like trying to make my character go faster or something without even thinking about it, and it'll pop up with a message that says, you don't need to press forward, your character will move forward automatically. I'm like, I just relax, like chill. I know,
Just
like,
let me do it.
just let me, I zoned out for a second. I'm doing it.
That'd be
you
like
can,
if a message popped up. There's no need to shake your controller.
Yeah,
It won't make you go any faster.
Yeah, just shut the fuck up and let me do whatever I think is going to make difference. Let me have my placebo effect of how I think that this shit's going to play out. Right? No judge. Don't judge me. Yeah. So I'm playing both. I'm enjoying both. But yeah, I will say this. For the whole, before we wrap up the episode, I think when the Nintendo Switch 2 launched, and talked about on here, the whole like the launch library not being great and everything. I think, and I said it at the time, I do think that their choice to spread out the releases instead of potentially having more at the start, I think was better. I really don't think it hurt the console launch at all. Like, if they'd held off and had Donkey Kong Bonanza and something else, like one of these games maybe as well, and it's like the Nintendo Switch 2 launches with Bonanza, Kirby Riders, like all these sorts of things. I think the release schedule of always, it's like they've had something coming out like every 6 weeks basically since release, I think.
Yeah.
And if it's not a direct Nintendo game, it's been at least something that's like it's still an exclusive, like Pokemon or something. You know what I mean? So I think it's good. What do you think, Ash?
I mean, it just keeps putting Nintendo Switch 2 in the conversation with the new release each time, and I think it helps that each of them has been reasonably successful. Like, obviously, Mario Kart World successful, Donkey Kong Bonanza successful, getting all these people hit the Tsar successful. Kirby,
that Tsar, baby.
You assume everybody's going to be jumping on Metroid Prime next month, so
yeah.
And then you'll have everybody who gets a Switch 2 for Christmas, and then you've got all this whole slate of titles for the people who do get a Switch 2 for Christmas to pick and choose from. So it has been a pretty solid launch window, I guess.
I think, and most people count the window for like the first 3 months, I think, or whatever they do. So
yeah.
Kieran, what do you think? Because you were more on the you were doubting the launch lineup.
It seems to have filled out. Like, I don't know. I think it was, maybe we should have more faith in Nintendo that stuff doesn't necessarily get delayed that often unless you're Metroid. But it's played out well throughout the holiday. Like, maybe I could have thought maybe it could have been spread out a little bit better. Like, maybe it could have been pulled forward a little bit more. Have your Hyrule Warriors or Air Riders come out in that August-September period, because there was a big gap between Donkey Kong and pretty much everything else.
I'm just I put up a list real quickly. Let me just read through this. So launch June. So you had Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, Hogwarts Legacy, Puyo Puyo Tetris. I'm reading just Switch 2 exclusive game, by the way. Sonic Cross Shadow Generations, Rune Factory, Rider Remaster, Mario Kart World, obviously big game. Tamagotchi Plaza then came out post-launch. Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Suikoden 1, 2 HD, Legends Edition, Breath of the Wild, Survival Kids. Then July, which the Switch 2 launched like mid-June, so not too much longer. Then you had Donkey Kong Bonanza. Then you had Super Mario Party Jamboree, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Wild Hearts S, which was a Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Wild Hearts. August, you had Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar come to Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive version of that. You then had the Kirby and the Forgotten Land plus Star-Crossed Worlds DLC release, which is exclusive to that. October had Pokemon
I can't believe you just skipped over Drag X Drive.
Sorry, my bad. Drag X Drive in August as well, my bad. October then had Pokemon Legends hit that Tsar. Persona 3 related came to it. And then November, we've of course had Hyrule Legends Age of Imprisonment, which we talked about. Some other things, including some big games. Just to mention as well, of course, like Star Wars Outlaws came and a few other things as well. Welcome. I don't know if we're counting that. I forgot to mention Welcome Park or whatever at the start as well. And then next month, you are going to get Metro Prime 4 Beyond, of course, finally comes to it. And then in the world of like big games coming to Switch 2, you've got the Assassin's Creed Shadows coming next month as well. So, and then January's, they've already announced Animal Crossing is January. The Nintendo Switch 2 edition and all the new DLC that will come with it. And in February, you've got Mario Tennis. Comes in February. March, you've got Pokemon Pokopia. I think that's as far as I've got like for official release dates. But there's already like at least another one game per month. So, yeah. I just think if you move stuff around, and like have more at that squeezed in, I don't think it would. I really don't. I think the sales are better this way, stretched out. Yeah. Oh no, I'm pretty keen for a lot of the games that have coming out next year. To be honest, if we think Pokemon, of course, I'm excited for, and presumably I'll have more than Pokemon Pokopia next year. I'll also have the new generation game next year. Presumably, if you believe the leaks, which I do. I got the new Yoshi game coming out next year, the book one. You got the new and then what is it? Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem. Yeah. Splatoon, the single player thing is coming out next year. I don't know. Nintendo Switch is looking good next year, I think. So, FYI, everyone, if you're thinking about getting one for Black Friday, I would. I mean,
no, you're asking the audience.
Yeah, I was asking. Are you? No, I know. That's fine. Not you. Anyone else out there, maybe thinking about it? I would say yes. Hit that Tsar, baby.
Use code.
Use code on. I imagine. Oh, by the way, I still jump into Tsar. I'm still going back every now and then. Sometimes I jump in for 10, 15 minutes. I will complete that Pokedex. I'm fucking determined, is all I'm going to say. I'm fucking determined. I think I'm like 5-6 Pokemon left, and a lot of them are evolutions I just need to do. So I will get there. Look forward to that. All right, thank you for listening to this week's episode of Arcade Couch. Send any comments, questions, concerns, or things about what we've discussed. If you believe the Nintendo Switch library is good or not, or any of the other stuff we talked about, or send us something you want us to talk about next week. You can do all of the above by finding our social links at explosionnetwork.com/follow. And if you like the show and like to support the podcast, you can do that by heading to explosionnetwork.com and just clicking around, or head to explosionnetwork.com/support. And we'll see you here next week, same time, same couch. Goodbye.